movement. We have already survived it. We've survived here and we've survived Oakland. And each one of those have destroyed every movement that went before us. I'm from Oakland, so I know and I'm old enough to remember exactly what was going on from every movement. And I spent time with all the people. That's why I spent time in Algeria with the party and in that so-called exile, and Imam Jamil and all those H. Rap Brown, them, all of them were friends and still are. Okay, so I'm saying from experience, we have already, boss man can't do nothing. He can't do nothing to us. Number one, we have hundreds of DVDs ready to go. And they're not just here, they're strategically located. So they can't cut off, and we've been talking about, we got hundreds of them. Hundreds of them. Explaining the whole process, when? Over and over and over and over. That's why we call it redundancy. Does anybody remember the language? Redundancy, redundancy, redundancy. Over and over and over again. The same language. Repetition. So what? It gets driven into the people. Stalingrad to Oakland. To other people, it looked like it was difficult, it was hard, and it was sad. It was none of that. It was exactly what we was looking for. So, what do you have if you have a system that you have to work against? You have to be a master strategist, that's all. That's what you have to be, or you're not going to get anywhere. You have to be a master strategist, and you have to be different than a big businessman. They say if they're right 30% of the time, they're good in business. You know, a head of a corporation, if they're right 30% of the time. If we was right 30% of the time, we would be out in the street with a cup. Right? And everybody that's here have heard everything we have said over and over and over again. And it's on tape. Or CD, DVD, whatever it is. Some of the stuff is okay. What's the big strategic trap that we've used? Now I have enough courage to say it. L-O-V-E, love. Tell the truth now. What's the last thing they expect from somebody like me? What have they been monitoring for decades? And what have my family and friends been feeding them? Dad, he wouldn't take that. He wouldn't. Everybody else, huh? He's not going to take that. He wouldn't take that. No, he wouldn't take that. And they're all adding into 60s, 70s, and at the beginning of the 80s, I'm telling my son, he's having, 11, 12, he's having a little fight with a guy. And I can't get into this, I can't get in it and help him. He don't need no help though. Because I can see how he stretches legs that way out when they're wrestling for balance. Oh, this guy is better than I thought he was. You know, but I'm now cheering him on. Now grab his neck and do this and that. I wouldn't do that now. But they're thinking from then, that was 81. Might have been 82. They're thinking what they did these last times was from way back then. They don't bring in no Taskia bil Nafs. They don't have no improvement. And then, what is the thing that you have or you can use? What strategy, what methodology that you can use that they don't have no experience in. Love. They don't have. They're mean-spirited. They don't have no experience in that. So what do? You take the things that they don't have no weapon to defend themselves or no approach or attack, and that's your policy. That's why we just rolling along. That's why we ain't had, nothing's wrong. Everything is fine. Because we're thinking. And the system is not used to dealing with strategic Negroes and longevity. This thing about strategy and longevity is very important. In the movement, what happened? The people didn't have no time. They didn't stay here long. You don't have no time. You don't have no time to learn. You don't have no time to develop, right? But we have. That's not why we're still here. But that's one of the reasons. Let me read just something we read the other day. It'll make a little sense. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. What is with you must vanish. What is with Allah will endure. Endure. Longevity. Duro. Right? Hard. And we will certainly bestow on those who patiently persevere their reward according to the best of their actions. They have some of the Negroes, they are real live Negroes. But we love them. We're going to invite them before the program today. We're going to invite them to play a positive part. Those who patiently persevere. Preserves. Why do you call them preserves? Because they last a long time, right? It's simple, but that's what it is. Longevity lasts a long time. Protracted over a long period of time. That's been the key, and that's been the secret. That's why our lectures from the late 70s and the 80s and all of that have been on that subject. Protracted, long range, right? Why? Because it gives you a chance to go over what you're doing, to think about what you're doing, to try different things. We've not only tried, we've executed hundreds of policies on Boss Man. He don't know nothing about him. We have to go back and tell him, well, Boss Man, we just did this, we did that, you know. Boss Man, nor his Negroes understand. You have to tell everybody. Okay, whoever works righteousness, man or woman, and has faith verily to him, will we give a new life. A life that is good and pure, and we will bestow on such their reward according to the best of their action. This is similar to the action before, the ayat before 96, but it's giving you a deeper picture. If you work righteous deeds, if you do right, do good, Allah gonna hook you up. How? Whether man or woman, and they have faith, truly to him we will give a new life. Okay, I done had all the pictures to show everybody, all the big houses, the big cars, all either jet black or high yellow women. It don't make no difference. They're all there. Everybody can see them. It ain't nothing. It ain't nothing. I mean, it might have been a little bit then, but it ain't nothing in life, not at all compared to now. Right? Compared to now, this is super superior than all of that. And then the Negro, what is he trying to do? Trying to get him a new Benz, trying to get him a house. He's trying to get junk. He's trying to get junk. Because all them Brohams we used to drive, they're not even in the junkyard anymore. They've been gone so long. You can't even go to the junkyard and get one. Right? It's been gone so long. But if you work righteousness, okay, people say one thing or another. You have to do what you know is right. What do you know is right according to the Quran and Hadith? That's criteria, right? And then historical processes, right? And then what we think is right based on all of that before. Why? Because everybody's trying to send you somewhere else. Everybody's trying to slide up on you and misdirect you. Why haven't we been misdirected? Number one, we haven't been in a hurry. Number one, there's the guide right there. How does it fit in with the Quran? What about the Hadith? Right? What about history? Why are we always going over history all the time? And then we implement what we think is right for us according to, that's why this go around, even the foreigners are saying the African Americans have to play a bigger part in it. They wasn't saying that before. They was trying to undermine Imam Muhammad, undermine everybody that was black. Their Arabic is no good. I tell them if Arabic is a criteria, then y'all can keep it. Because what y'all doing, and y'all are Arabs and got stacks of tafsir of Quran and Arabic dictionaries. One of my past friends is more skilled in Arabic than anybody I know. We was given lectures in Karachi and Pakistan. And at this Dawah Center, they studied English, they studied Arabic for the literature, and Urdu was their national language, of course. But they gave Dawah in English. And it was two sheikhs from Azhar, you know, that little. And one of our friends here, not friends now, he was speaking, and they was rocking back and forth. And they said after that, your speech, your language skills are like our great professors in the old days. They were saying that's how good his Arabic is. And I'm not saying he's a bum, but if it's not written in Negro language, he can't understand it. He can only understand Arabic. And it's good because when we have them big programs for years, he would be the best translator. If the speaker was speaking in Arabic, he would translate it and everybody would like his, because after a while you have to change translators because it makes your head hurt and stuff like that. And we liked his. But when the leader said, this guy is a good guy, all of a sudden, he don't remember anything. So, I just want to read one more. It has a little bit to do with the subject today, but then again, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Innahu laisa lahu sultanun ala alladhina amanu wa ala rabbihim yattawakkaluna. No authority has he over thee. No authority has he over those who believe and put their trust in Allah. Who are they talking about? Innahu laisa, they don't have. Laisa lahu sultanan, sultan. Authority, power. They don't have no authority over those who believe and have tawakkul, mutawakkalin, those who trust in Allah. The other ayat is almost the same. إنما سلطانه على الذين يتوكلونه الذين هم به mushrikun. His authority is over only those who take him as a patron. The shaitan don't have no authority over nobody unless we voluntarily turn over our life to this God. This is the Quran, of course. Only those who take him as a patron mean they're mushrikeen. They join partners with Allah. Okay. So back to us. So if we look